Well, welcome back to the channel. I still have Randy and Steve with me back here behind, and we're working our way through these hard-working farmers on these Tennessee back roads, trying to make our way to Silerton, Tennessee. When we get there, we'll talk about Silerton for a little bit. Okay, here we are arriving in Silerton. It's the smallest incorporated town in Hardman County. Jesse, Spencer, James, and Horace Siler, sons of Solomon Siler, and James, John, Josiah, and Edward, sons of James Siler, all from Siler City, North Carolina, purchased land here in the Silerton area in 1869. There they raised large families whose descendants are still residents of the area. A frame home built by one of the original Siler brothers in the late 1800s is still used today as a residence. As with many towns of that era, when the Gulf, Mobile, and Northern Railroads came through the area about 1917, homes and businesses began to spring up close to the depot. The depot was named Siler's Depot, reportedly because a Siler owned the store, and the town doctor was a Siler, and a Siler owned the land where it was built. It was later changed to Silerton. Because of its location to the railroad and the densely forested areas around it, Silerton grew into a thriving center for timber trade. Thousands of board feet of lumber and cross ties were shipped all over the country. 6 stores, a depot, a grist mill, a post office, 2 churches, and a school were all located in Silerton in its boom time. Over the years, Silerton has maintained its small-town charm, and with a current population of 97 as of the 2020 census. It hosts annual events that reflect its community spirits, including a 4th of July celebration and the Children's Christmas Parade, which are important tradition for the residents. This historical backdrop highlights Silerton's evolution from a family settlement to a vibrant community with deep roots and its founding families. Leaving Silerton, we're going to be heading next to Deanburg. And yes, Steve and Randy are still with me. They're back here behind. I only have one camera, so I can't show them to you, and I sure can't turn around and look, so you'll just have to take my word for it. So hang with us, and in a few minutes, we'll be in Deanburg. Well, here we are in the extreme western corner of Chester County, in the little town of Deanburg. Formerly a part of Hardeman County, the village was settled in the 1830s or 40s by a grant to Mr. Dean, whose large log home served as a way station on the old stage road from Denmark to Purdy, a crossroads of commerce and travel in early Tennessee. The Dean land passed from Mr. Butler to the Willoughby Stewart in 1919, then to W.L. Stewart, 1936, remaining with Mrs. Bob Stewart and daughter Juanita Lawson. East of the village, the Baptist preacher, Aiken Henry, secured a grant to a large area for only 3 deerskins. On the opposite side lived the Hunter family, whose sole grave remains. Mary Jane Hunter died 1848. That property later became the Johnson Cemetery. A catastrophic cyclone swept through Deanburg on March 11, 1923, destroying virtually the entire community and leaving only 2 homes standing. The first school, a 2-story frame building shared with the Woodman of the World, was also lost. It was rebuilt and expanded, land donated by Superintendent J.W. Stewart so the county could qualify for state aid, which required a minimum of 2 acres. About 2 miles east of Deanburg, Chickasaw State Park now stands on the former site of a water mill that ground corn and gin cotton. It was owned by Mr. Pear, likely descended from the Deans. The mill was operated by Washington Bell, then purchased by Flava Owens. His son, Newbern, reportedly invented the only water-powered mill whistle ever known. Both died of typhoid fever around 1915. The government purchased the land around 1935 and opened Chickasaw State Park to the public in 1937, where it remains a recreational landmark of Chester County. 2 congregations have anchored the spiritual life of Deanburg residents across the generations. There's Bethel Church, organized in the late 1840s, and Pleasant Springs Church, organized in 1879. Pleasant Springs continues to serve the Henderson and Pinson area today. Early merchants included Mr. Jordan and Mr. Sipes, who ran the village's first general stores. Leggy Owens operated a grist mill, sawmill, and cotton gin in the early 1900s. W.L. Stewart purchased the Owens Mill on June 10, 1925, and ran the grist mill, sawmill, and the general merchandise store for many years. It was a cornerstone of the local commerce. The Guff, Mobile, and Northern Railroad built a line through Deanburg beginning operations in 1918 or 19, with a depot constructed the following year. The railroad transformed the community. Land was cleared, cross ties and staff boats were shipped out by train, connecting Deanburg to the wider economy of West Tennessee. Well, speaking of the wider West Tennessee, let's ease on down the road, and I think our next stop is going to be the little town of Medon. So with that, we'll head that way. Okay, here we are arriving in the Medon community. I wasn't able to find a lot of history on Medon, but what I did find was quite interesting. The population of Medon from the 2020 census shows to be 190 people. However, it seems at one time there was as many as 300 people. The high school was incorporated in 1881. The community itself was established in 1825. It had several early names. Frozen Oak was the first name, somewhat colorful, commemorating a hunter who apparently crawled into a hollow tree during a blizzard and froze to death. And by 1834 it was called Clover Creek. And finally it was changed to Medon. Tradition tells the story of an early Irishman who lived there. When he returned home from a job, he would thump his chest and say, "Medon." So the name kind of stuck. Medon was incorporated in 1852. And by 1880, it shows that the town had 175 people. In 1875, the Medon Academy opened in the Masonic Building. Stores and churches were built to accommodate the citizen. Today, Medon has only a few stores. It's small, but it still remains. Well, that's about it, all I could find as history of Medon. So I guess I'll just say Medon, and we'll head on down the road. Probably in the next video we'll pick up maybe Pinson. We're headed in that direction, so we'll see y'all then and enjoy the ride on the rest of the video.